Hi guys, Simon from Teslalightshows.io here in a very windy field. We've been sent a tent that actually goes on the back of the Model Y by Teslac.com, and I thought we'd come out here. The rain hopefully is going to hold off long enough for us actually to put up the tent. But yeah, let's crack on before it does start to pour it down. So as we unpack the tent, I'll let you know that you can find the product link in the description. Teslac have also given us a discount code, so you can use that on this or any other product in their store. Just type in Teslalightshows at checkout to receive an additional 15% off of the sale price. They also have a great selection of other Tesla aftermarket accessories, so go and check them out at Teslac.com. Now, so what you can expect to find in the bag is the tent itself, 2 long structured poles, 4 poles for propping up the awnings, and some pretty sturdy tent pegs. We'll start by pegging down the 4 corners of the base in line with the car. We can shift the car a little bit later if needed, but using the car's position as a reference is actually a really good starting point. I have to say, the pegs that they've provided, they're really quite thick. All too often, you receive very flimsy pegs that bend when you hammer them into the ground. And that's a great sign of the overall quality. Now, I'd like to point out that I measured the wind speed at the time of making this video, and it was a whopping 45 miles per hour. And just to make things more interesting, the kids and I decided to pitch the tent at the top of a hill too. So I felt every single gust of that storm. Starting at the back of the tent, we'll remove the structured pole that's coloured silver. We'll then snap the individual tubes into place and start to feed through the opening that runs across the top of the tent. So this pole is really quite flexible, so should go through without any problems. Okay, now all the way through to the other side, we can secure this pole by placing the end into the metal tag at the base of the tent. We'll also clip the tent to the wall connector here. Okay, now we'll do exactly the same on the other side. At the side of the tent closest to the car, we'll use the structured pole coloured coded red. And we'll follow the exact same procedure as we did at the back. Feeding through and then placing the red metal connector, snapping the walls into place. So to secure the tent and to keep it from sagging, we'll peg in the guy ropes. The term guy rope actually comes from the 17th century, where the Dutch used to use the word guy to describe a rope or a cable that they used to use to secure something or steady something, such as a mast of a boat, or in our case, a tent. So the instructions will tell you to secure the guy ropes through the door catches, but I do have 2 problems with that. First and foremost, they may scratch the paintwork. As we all know, Teslas will scratch just by looking at them. So leaving enough space in order to be able to open the doors, we'll use the guy ropes to actually pull the boot or the trunk flap over the top of the car. You could also use the awning poles here, but to be honest, with this wind, I'm not going to risk them falling on the car. Now this tent comes with a fitted awning. It gives us just a little bit of shade from the sun or shelter from the rain. That's a nice touch, especially today, as we'll be able to relax outside of the tent whilst also being protected from the elements. So here we're going to peg down the two sides of the awning, pulling the material as tight as possible. Now unzipping the sides will allow us to fully extend the awning. We'll then use the poles to hold up either side. These poles actually extend so you can adjust the height of the awning too. I've moved it just a notch or two just to give me a little bit of headroom. Then pulling tight will secure the side in place using the guy rope. And now we'll do that all again on the other side. Geez, this wind is really picking up. Okay, so now that we have the awning up, albeit a little saggy, I'll pull those ropes up later. We can see the door and we're able to actually now enter the tent. I'll just go ahead and roll this up and then neatly fasten it to the side using the toggles and loops. Both sets of doors actually also come with an individual netted window. Okay, so we've lined up the tent pretty well with the car. However, I am going to reverse just a little into the hole at the front to create a tighter seal around the boot or the trunk. Now back in the tent, we'll open the boot or the trunk as high as it will go, which is about 3/4 at a guess. Watch your head when you're reaching in and out. It actually might be a good idea to stick some pipe insulation on the door lock if you're particularly tall, just to make sure that you don't bang your head. We'll now create the seal around the car by moving the material into place. And then pulling on the cords, one for the right hand side and another for the left. Now the instructions will tell you to secure the tent using the Velcro across the lining. However, it will cause the vela to lift a little and therefore leave a mark across the boot. So I'll just tuck it into the boot cavity, sticking it to the vela below the shelf. In my opinion, this with the weight of the mattress is going to be more than enough to hold the tent in place. Okay, so we're all set. Now, I haven't put up a tent for probably a good 30 years, but I think I did okay. Sure, it's a little saggy in places, but with this wind, I think I'm still pretty pleased with myself. I'll just tighten everything up a little bit later. Okay, so this is not going to be necessarily as comfortable inside, but what we've also been sent is a mattress that will go into the back, and it's actually been cut to fit the Model Y exactly. I believe actually it'll fit in Model 3 as well. So we'll just go ahead and we'll have a look at this. It's also got a pump as well, but we'll go ahead and see how this fits. The mattress pump connects to the 12 volt at the back of the car and takes roughly about 4 minutes to fully inflate. Okay, so let's have a look at these pillows. I have to say, this is really comfy. Ask me again tomorrow morning, but at the moment, this is looking really good. So, I have to say, that was one man, 45 minutes. And I don't think it's been put up that bad. I think actually it looks quite solid. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend the night here. It'll be me and the kids. And yeah, I'll talk to you in the morning. It really is quite windy. So wish me luck. Okay, see you later, guys. Okay, so here we are. The kids are asleep. It's, I don't know, 11 o'clock, I think. But what we're doing is the cabin is really, really warm. The tent itself is really, really warm. It's all locked up nice and tight. I think our battery now is exactly 60%. So what we're going to do is tomorrow morning, when we wake up, we're going to actually see what that is now. Anyway, it's a good night for me. Okay, good morning. So it is around 7:30 in the morning. So that's 8.5 hours since we last spoke. I have woken up several times during the night. Look, I'm not a camper. So yeah, it's not the most comfortable. It's not a feather bed, but actually, you know what? I had a relatively decent night's sleep. So people that are more used to camping will probably actually sleep like a dream. I woke up at 5:40 this morning because it was getting a little bit chilly in the cabin. So I racked the temperature up to 24 degrees from 22. So what, over the last 8.5 hours, now I've looked at the gauge to see how much battery we've got left, and we're actually at 50%. So we went from 60 to 50, that's 10% in 8.5 hours, with the temperature actually quite high. So actually, yeah, I'm really quite impressed with that. I was expecting a bit more than that. I was expecting maybe 20%, but anyway, so we're gonna get up now. I'm gonna make the kids breakfast, and we'll get on with the day. Okay, so here we are outside, and I'm very happy to report that the tent is completely intact. Completely intact, and it was exceptionally windy last night and all the way through the day. So I have to say the quality is really, really good. Not just the quality of the person that put it up, but no, the quality of the actual tent, I am super impressed with. It was much more than I actually expected. So yeah, that's definitely a thumbs up from me. So the short answer is yes. Just be sure to loosen the drawstrings around the boot and remove that, as well as the Velcro lining. This will leave a hole in the tent, so you'll want to protect it from the elements. I just pegged down the front awning on either side to create a seal. Okay, so one of the things that's really surprised me is the amount of space that this has taken in the boot. I mean, look at this. That's all of the tent, that's all of our camping equipment, chairs and everything. That is compacts down to practically nothing. Well look, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, as that will really actually help us to grow. You can even go ahead and flick that bell to get notified of new videos if you like. So all that's left is for me to say thank you. I hope to see you again soon, but until next time, it's a goodbye from me.